What is happening? J Gamer Dude here with some news about Assassin's Creed. Rather, it's not really news, but sort of like a general discussion that I kind of wanted to sort of bring into the mix a little bit. So I'm going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Mirage in relation to the title of this article and not necessarily the actual content of the article. So I won't actually be linking it in the description. So don't, if you look, you won't find it there, just a heads up. But it's sort of my general thoughts about like how games have gotten too long and that we probably should be looking to get shorter titles again, because the good old sort of 10 to 15 hour first person shooter campaign, while we did complain about it being a little bit too short and things like like we didn't feel like we were getting our money's worth back then. Now things have shifted in such a dramatic way to where quite a lot of people who have been playing games back then are now older, have more responsibilities, probably have a job now, that sort of thing. And I feel like we've kind of all grown up in that sort of space, and that sitting down and playing a 100-hour long game just doesn't seem as viable anymore as it used to be. And so, like, I myself have started playing a lot more shorter games in between some of the longer stuff. Because, while I would like to go back and play a few Monster Hunters, just to, kind of put myself back into those shoes, I won't be playing 2 Monster Hunters back to back, but rather I'll play 1 Monster Hunter, a bunch of short games, and then maybe another one. That sort of thing, just to kind of space out the timing. But I don't know how the general populace feels, because there aren't a lot of us who are very vocal in the way in which we play games, or what kind of general time frame we prefer. And especially with how long game development cycles have begun, started to be, rather. That it was, it used to be only be like, every 3 years we'd get like a big game that was, really long, chunky, and now it's like 5, 6, 7 years. In fact, there are some games that may never come out, We find ourselves in that sort of position. And so I kind of bring this up alongside Assassin's Creed, where, the games were a lot shorter back then, but at least it did feel like there was a lot more content, albeit that an annual release did completely ruin that idea, because Assassin's Creed, believe it or not, was in fact an annualized franchise. We got 9 games in the span of 8 years, because in 1 year we got 2 Assassin's Creed games, which was the year that the PS4 and Xbox One came out, where the next gen consoles got Assassin's Creed, I forgot what it's called, Unity, and the older generation got Assassin's Creed Rogue. But then Rogue Remastered was released years later as well. And while Assassin's Creed was put to bed for a year in between Syndicate and Origins, they did also release 3 Assassin's Creed Chronicle games, which are sort of side-scrolling Assassin's Creed games by way of Prince of Persia in between. And while those were cut much shorter in order to kind of, feed the Assassin's Creed faithful up until then, it really doesn't help much that they've only gotten, longer and bigger, and of course those cycles have then become longer and longer, and now Assassin's Creed is not really annualized anymore, at least as much as it used to be. So it's interesting to see that sort of dichotomy now compared to before. But it'll be interesting to see how Assassin's Creed Mirage does, because I genuinely do hope that it does really well, because I do want to see more of these shorter titles make a bigger impact. Given that, we can play as many long games as we want, but these shorter titles do help put a little bit of reprieve in between. It's just unfortunate that also, like, Mirage is actually a cheaper title as well, so it's not actually like full price compared to other games. So I do hope we do see some more cheaper, shorter games, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's only going to help us be able to consume those longer, bigger games, especially when you look at the industry now is leaning more towards, trying to at least lean more towards live services, which are intended to take up all the time in the world from you as an individual, and you can only really play so many of those before that stuff starts to become old and Frankenstein together. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'd like to hear from everyone. People who like to play shorter games, people who like to play longer games, people who like to play live service games. because everyone will have their own different view on the situation, and it really will be fascinating to see what happens in the comments if I do get any at all, because I would like to see a bit more activity down there. But like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I am looking to hopefully get 100 subs by the end of the year, and of course more of my videos do get pushed out to more people. Of course, definitely looking forward to wanting to do a little bit more of that. But with all of that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.